Hey guys, welcome back to the Human Condition. This video is another video in our philosophy series. This should be a pretty interesting one. This is what are the 7 deadly sins and how do we overcome them? This one's a pretty close one for me. One of the commenters reminded me I was going to do this video. I wanted to do this one a long time ago. But basically, I talked about this briefly before, but my belief is Christian. I'm Christian. So the 7 deadly sins are but I still respect and love all people. Uh, so in this video, I'll be talking about what are the 7 deadly sins and how do we overcome them. If you're not super quite as religious, still stay tuned because you might still see how the 7 deadly sins can impact us in our day-to-day lives in society as a whole, sadly, and how it can lead to corruption sometimes. So yeah, the 7 deadly sins are lust, greed, wrath, pride, envy, sloth, and gluttony. So these are the 7 deadly sins. Instinctual things, so it comes from the heart, because the Bible, I think, our verse that talks about the heart is corrupt. And if I misinterpret anything, obviously take the Bible's word over what I say. However, the heart is corrupt, so I believe the 7 deadly sins are one of the corrupt things that come from the heart, and sin. And the mind is a gift from God to combat the 7 deadly sins. Also, the Holy Spirit as well can help us do that. So that being said, what is each sin? Pride. Pride is the excessive overconfidence to the point of not being able to be wrong. This is considered the worst sin. You can see this a lot in society, sadly, and corruption. Pride is one of the worst things for just in general for yourself, but especially for other people. I think it's one of the causes of most problems in life is pride. It basically is the ability, people's natural desire not necessarily to be wrong, to not want to be wrong. I think this just stems from the fact it makes us feel inferior if we're wrong. So this sin of pride can cause a lot of struggles with other people, like conflicts. It can mess up personal growth because if you can't admit your other sinful desires, like ways like such as sloth, wrath, envy, greed, gluttony, right? And just where you could have been wrong, it kind of stunts personal growth. So it's kind of a lose-lose one. Pride, well, all of them are lose-lose, but pride because you can't really grow, and other people can't really grow with you. It's kind of like this catch-22 where you're kind of stuck with yourself, which is a shame. But you just lose everyone because of potentially if you give into the sin, because it can kind of be deceiving, and it's it's really a shame that happens, and that's pride. Wrath is extreme anger, and it's not that we can't be angry sometimes, it's about acting on the anger. So wrath would be acting negatively on the anger. So this would probably be sometimes worst version of this would be like aggression, physical aggression. A slight version of this would just be passive aggression, which is still not good, but if you have to, I mean, you probably shouldn't do either, but I guess passive aggression is a little less bad than aggression, but passive aggression would all be kind of forms of wrath, and there's probably some more I'm missing, potentially. However, wrath is a pretty bad one because if you're always angry all the time, it can cause a lot of problems. The opposite of wrath, in my opinion, would just be happiness, but the opposite of pride would be humility. So to combat that, how do we combat pride and wrath? It would be humility for pride and happiness for wrath. I know it sounds kind of like just be happy, but just don't act off anger. Happiness. The third one is sloth. This is one that I struggle with the most. This is laziness and inability to work. Some fear can be caused by sloth, but fear itself isn't you can't really control when you're afraid. If you're anxious, right? Something I have is anxious, and that's obviously not. That's just a sin, a bad product of sin itself, not necessarily you don't just choose to be anxious. So it's just a product of sin. However, sloth itself, the act of like being undisciplined and being irresponsible and kind of lazy, which I think is the one I struggle with the most. It's the seventh deadly sin. This is because if you give it too much, minorly, it'd be like missing some assignments, forgetting to skipping something because school, or skipping a responsibility because uh, you just don't feel like it. I mean, I feel like we all do this. I feel like we all do this every once in a while. But the severe version of this would be like just laying in your room to the point of like unhealthiness, like not all day, but just like weeks on weeks on weeks on weeks, to the point where your own health might be in jeopardy, like not eating, not eating, just sleeping, to the point where you're like your own self could be in jeopardy, and the responsibilities you have could be in jeopardy, and because people rely on you. I guess that would be the worst case of sloth. In my opinion, the opposite of this is discipline, because discipline is keeping up with responsibilities, working hard, and making sure you stay focused. Which I feel like we all have one to three that we struggle with the most. In my opinion, mine would probably be up there. Sloth would probably be my number one. Envy is jealousy. We all feel, oh well, yeah, it's a natural sin, I guess, so we all feel it probably at some point. It's a feeling, it comes from maybe just feeling like inferior, or it's not like the best way you can be. The way to overcome this would be admiration. Instead of viewing the person as a threat, view them as an opportunity for personal growth. See them as not like someone I have to tear down just to feel better, but see them as somewhere I can achieve to be, somewhere I can go, not somewhere, it's not something holding me back, but something that can push me forward. So to overcome envy, I guess the best would be admiration. The severe form of envy would be rising to the top and crushing people below you brutally. That'd be envy. A minor version would be like, just be like, oh, dang, I wish I could do that, or something like that. That'd be minor. But the way to overcome envy is admiration. Be like, oh, this is really a shame, but at least they can help. They might be able to help me with this thing I'm trying to achieve. Not only that, maybe help motivate me to achieve this thing, or they can help me achieve what I'm trying to do in life. And if they can, everyone's capable of everything. I believe anyone can do anything if they put their mind to it. If you look at the mindset of I can achieve this as well, you probably will be able to do it. Hopefully, in my opinion. Greed is the opposite of greed is charity. So greed in the minor form would just be like, I can't spend money on that right now. I have to save up. Yeah, if someone asks like, hey, could you help me with this? Help me pay for this thing. I was like, I really wish I could, but I really have to save money. I'm sorry. That would just be a minor form of greed. Severe form of greed would be like never giving it to anything ever. And this can obviously jeopardize society and jeopardize your own well-being, because people will be like, dang, why does this person not, like kind of like the severe version of greed would be like Scrooge, I guess you could say, from the holiday movies. That would be the severe version of greed. And he even him himself, yeah, I guess, yeah. Lust, I view it as, I could be wrong if my interpretation's wrong, obviously take the biblical interpretation over my own. But my interpretation of lust is not just intimate lust. It's the idea, and the opposite of this, to overcome this, would be love. It's the idea of viewing others as something I can gain something from them, rather than viewing as I can give something to them. So in a romantic scenario, it'd be like being like trying to get something out of someone rather than trying to see what they desire and give them something. That would be in the romantic sense, I guess. In the just regular sense, it's not taking every once in a while trying to pursue something and trying to achieve what you desire is fine, but doing it to the point where it jeopardizes someone else, you know. So the minor version would be like uh, focusing on something you want from someone else and then helping them out. That'd be a minor version, but the extreme version would be never really opening yourself up to that person, connecting with that person, and seeing what they desire. That would be the extreme version of lust, whether it be romantic or just in general. It's thinking about taking rather than giving, and obviously that's natural, but just as long as you don't do too much taking, I guess. So yeah, and gluttony. Gluttony is overindulgence. The opposite, in my opinion, is moderation. Moderation, it just means you don't necessarily, the minor version of this would be like, let's say you want an Xbox and a PlayStation. Do you need an Xbox and PlayStation? No. But, you know, you want to be like lit, you know, sometimes it's tough, you know, and it was sometimes tough to do things in moderation. It'd be like buying like 10 cars. Buying 2 cars, okay. Buying 3 cars, buying 10 cars, it's kind of pushing gluttony. It's overindulgence because you don't really need 10 cars. You're probably not going to use 10 cars. But, I mean, but it's still pretty cool getting 10 cars. But gluttony is the overindulgence of things you don't necessarily need. The extreme version of gluttony would be like, can kind of be combined with sloth, or just, let's say, like eating 20 packs of ice cream sandwiches and like packages. You can see how that can be detrimental to other people and yourself, because health-wise it might be hurting you. You might like push the limits of your own health with the extreme version of gluttony, and other people more so. This one's more detrimental to yourself, in my opinion, because it's more focused on it's the worst version of this would be kind of hurting one's own health, I guess, unintentionally, just by trying to enjoy too much of foods and stuff like that, and too much of things in general, and it might cause other people to worry about you potentially. So yeah, and then those are the 7 deadly sins. I feel like they're like I said earlier, like they come from the heart, and I believe the mind is a gift from God. Like all things are gifts from God, obviously, in my opinion, from my belief. However, these things are natural, they're instinctual, but society is built off the mind, which is the gift, in my opinion, the gift of God, from God, combined with the Holy Spirit helping us influence our mind to help build society. So for example, because if you think about it, if everyone embodied all the 7 deadly sins, society wouldn't even function, which shows that I feel like logic was a gift that kind of helped us kind of suppress the sinful nature of our corrupt desires, our instincts. And that's kind of what helped build society as a whole, is not giving into these desires. So yeah, those are the 7 deadly sins. In conclusion, it's natural to feel these ways sometimes. It's the goal in life is not to be perfect, but just strive to. The goal in life, I feel like, is not to necessarily be perfect. It's to know that you'll never be, as humans, we'll never be perfect. But it's this goal to strive to be. It's a goal, in my opinion, like my belief, to strive to be perfect, but know you'll never be there. And not to pretend like you don't ever sin, but like admit that you're like, hey, I probably shouldn't have done that, and maybe I can try to learn and grow from this, and not to feel, and to realize it's natural to struggle and fall back sometimes. It's only human. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.